I guess it sounds like I think we're going to need a motion. I think we need a motion to suggest, to direct the planning board to pursue option number 1, is what what I'm hearing from everyone, and that we, in addition, the idea about the consultant, that we want that a narrow kind of idea of what we might need a consultant for. We want that in September. We want the planning board to continue moving forward and working, the committee to move forward, working with the staff, develop this look at best practices, other communities, how they do things, provide us guidelines that aren't just limited to the site at Homestead and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, because that might not be where even this project goes. And so we need something actually that's useful, right? So is that your motion, Chief? Exactly.
Second.
It's been moved and it's been seconded. All those in favor say, discussion. You want to add something?
I am in support of the guidelines, but I remember in the beginning that JB said we could do a couple of these. And so I had just wanted all the information and really wanted to make that planning board and the consultant maybe work extra hard. And I had wanted also to look at standards. So I'm not going to vote yes for that, but I support.
Well, I would imagine, let me just clarify this. I would imagine as the planning board's committee looks at other communities and best practices, some of those other communities are going to call their things guidelines. Some of them are going to call them standards. Some of them are going to have prescriptive rules. Some of them are going to have, and I wouldn't believe that the committee would say, oh, well, Normal Ohio calls them prescriptive application of commandments for how a shelter should work, and so because they call it that, we're not going to look at them, right? I mean, you're going to look at what rules, for whatever they're called, govern how you use a shelter. I mean, are you going to only look at things that are called guidelines? If we say develop guidelines?
No, we're interested in looking at whatever is out there to find what might work best for the community.
I mean, I don't think that we should say, you don't look at standards.
Okay, I'm just responding to what the staff presented to us as options 1, 2, and 3, and they did define guidelines and then they defined standards. So if it's all the same, I'm happy with that.
Okay, Talon. And we don't have
well, as I understand the motion that's on the floor, the motion is to develop proposed guidelines, but that what Mark was saying was that surely when the planning staff and the committee try to come up with those, they will examine language that they find wherever it turns up, whether it's in standards or guidelines or ordinances or what have you. But the motion on the table is to develop proposed guidelines.
Is that your concern? Or, I mean, we're not going to, I mean, we may not have unanimity, but, there's the motion. It's been seconded. Any other discussion? Yes, Ed?
Mike, you often say what I'm about to say, so I'll save it, which is that if you arrive at the fact that we need standards, go ahead and tell us. And no problem at all. I think right now we should say proceed with guidelines, but see where you'll end up. It's a great committee, and I think you do great work.
I'm sure they won't refrain from saying that, too. Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?